Tonight in our Scripps News Focus, the uber popular burger chain In-N-Out just issued a new employee policy. Do not mask up. And if you want to, get a doctor's note. Beginning August 14th in 5 states, that's about 100 locations, employees will not be able to wear a face mask without that note. In their California and Oregon locations, though, where state law prohibits the mask mandates that saying you can't have them, mask wearers have to use the company-provided N95. The fast food chain says the goal is to, quote, emphasize the importance of customer service and the ability to show our associates smiles. With the new guidance came controversy and a lot of questions, and we knew just the guy to ask. Employment attorney Andrew Lieb back with us tonight. Hey, Andrew, this is taking effect in 5 states. Is it legal?
You cut right to a chance. Like, I didn't even get to tell you how beautiful my smile is. Look at that, with no mask. You see how that did that?
Gorgeous.
It's definitely legal, and it's legal because, and they're smart about it. In Oregon and California, it would be illegal because they have rules about this. I will say the way they articulated the policy could be very problematic, though, because they said you can only have an exemption for health reasons. And what we learned from this Supreme Court recently is that you also get a very broad accommodation for religious reasons. And many Muslim women might need to cover their face. So the way they articulate it is really problematic and potentially discriminatory. And I would give them a negative on that one. But otherwise, it's legal.
Wow, I hadn't thought of that. Okay, so sticking with the medical mask then, or I don't know, cloth mask that's not allowed anymore. I was just thinking, hospitality businesses do have a vested interest in making sure customers connect personally with those employees. If you walk into a nice hotel or restaurant and the first person you see looks like they're ready to perform surgery, that can be a barrier. Is that a compelling business interest?
Well, it doesn't need to be a compelling business interest. Just today, Target came out and said they're going to allow shorts. I'm sure if you showed up to work, Chance, I know you wear the most amazing suits, but imagine you showed up with yourself having overalls on. They might have problems with that at the newsroom. You see, everyone has a business interest in making a dress code. But the issue is your dress code discriminatory? And as I highlighted before, when you're reading their dress code, it doesn't have that religious accommodation exemption. And I can see a group of people in In-N-Out Burger coming together and forming a union and trying to collectively bargain this. I could see a group of just a few of them just doing concerted activity and trying to fight this. But more so, I see it spurring religious accommodation lawsuits because, yes, you're right. We want friendliness. But I also liken back into food service. I really like when people have nets on their hair. I don't like when I get snot from their face in my food. So I could see this cutting both ways. Having protective gear is good for food, but being friendly and smiling like I am right now is also very good.
Yeah, it is. Which, can I say, on professional attire for men, to have to wear 3 layers, I mean, you have to do as a lawyer. I feel like we need to tweak a professional attire for men, but we'll get to that a different day, actually. Tell me, how easy is it to get a doctor's note? For instance, if you go in and if you don't immunocompromised, if you don't live with grandma who, you don't want to die, does anxiety about catching COVID count?
It's a fabulous question, and I'm going to get to it, but I have to tell you, I also want to sign your petition about changing male attire. Some days when we're in this heat wave that we got going on right now, I'm schwitzing and schwitzing and schwitzing, and I want to get to wear the short sleeves like the ladies do sometimes. So I appreciate where you're going with this. And live on there, we're starting the Chance petition for short sleeve suits for men. So I think that's a brilliant idea.
Too strong.
But to your specific question, it depends on state law versus federal law. When it comes to federal law, that's across the United States. We're dealing with what's called the Americans with Disabilities Act, and they have what's called qualifying disabilities. Now, if you were going to be in California or New York, for example, they have many more disabilities that qualify. So your question was, does anxiety qualify? And under federal law, anxiety alone wouldn't qualify. It would have to have a secondary effect, be able to change your activities, to be able to limit what you could do. But under state law like New York, anxiety likely would qualify. So what I'm going to recommend is if you have what you may think is a disability or a handicap, speak to a lawyer before you even speak to your doctor so you understand what qualifies and what doesn't, because not all disabilities or handicaps are statutorily recognized disabilities, Chance.
Okay, that's good to know that bum knee or bad back and where does anxiety fit in and things like that. By the way, they have to wear the N95 mask provided by the company. I guess that means no cloth mask. You can't have designs or anything like that. Is that a legal issue? What is that about?
Yeah, it's definitely a legal issue. It's a legal issue if you're going to get an accommodation for medical purposes and your doctor is saying you need a different mask. Maybe you don't need an N95. I'm not a mask expert. I don't know if you trade in the masks. Maybe you know all the different varieties. But if your doctor is saying, just to bring you back, I have a brother-in-law who is a surgeon. And when COVID first came, he had these special N95s from the surgical wing, which were very different than where we could get everywhere else, those KN95s. And his were much more protective. Maybe you have the type of recognized statutory disability under the American with Disabilities Act or your local human rights law, and your doctor saying you need a better mask than even provided by In-N-Out. And if they were to deny you that, that would be called a failure to accommodate lawsuit. So we have to look on a tailored basis for each individual. And also, as I talked about before, Chance, on a religious accommodation basis, you could see a woman that has to wear something covering her face and it wouldn't be the In-N-Out mask. And I could see that being an issue. I think it wasn't thought out very well, this policy.
Poking holes in this already. Andrew Lieb, attorney at law, and your sparkling smile. Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks so much.
Still ahead, Messi mania has officially hit Miami. Fans are buzzing about the megastar Lionel Messi transferring to Miami. A feel for all the thrills. Next.